Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Tuesday, December 12, 2023, a little after 3:15 p.m. Eastern. We'll be having a Time for Change call tomorrow night around 9 p.m. Eastern, and a Reverse Aging Health call this Friday was a special guest. Any one of us can step into this empty of mind, spiritually awakened state instantly at any moment. Any one of us. Since the light of consciousness is our basic nature, depending on our programming, may require decades of searching and efforting to set the mind aside. Remain fully conscious of pure consciousness, totally relaxed in your body, and eternally expanding into your cosmic spiritual nature. It's truly the greatest cosmic joke of all that we are trying to attain our natural effulgent state of being. And we already are that. So what could be easier and harder than that? Basically, that means we must make a tremendous effort to be 100% effortless. A tremendous effort to be 100% effortless. This is all about the civilization of this planet becoming full-time enlightened. That's what this is about. And in the enlightened state, we automatically are the God. We know that. We emulate it through the heart-mind. We are no longer entertaining the ego mind. It just doesn't exist. So on this, all of us on this great journey into enlightenment, we're going to get to pass a few essential tests. What's at stake here is our life's fulfillment on the deepest levels. So we'll come across many unexpected curves in the road, perhaps an enormous range of mountains to climb, a massive roadblock to leap over, and many succulent distractions that will stop us in our spiritual tracks. All these make the journey even more of a wild and crazy celebration than when we are sitting on top of one of these peaks or resting in the green, sunny, warm valley along the way. Probably most of us, I believe, people don't appreciate things that are freely given as much as those things which they may feel are nearly impossible to attain. No feat that is going to push our boundaries, stretch our limits, and feels outrageous to even imagine is going to be easy to manifest. The amount of struggle, loss, and confusion along our journey is the very fuel that will eventually burn our ego away. So again, it is this universe has invented the perfect spiritual setup. Just remember, this universe never makes mistakes. The journey which is pulling us deeper into this very moment of our life is revealing the real reason why we are here. If we look for our path into enlightenment in any place other than the now, we will miss it. It is always hidden in the most sacred place that we are least likely to look for it. Of course, this involves mastering our thoughts and the ego mind. Let them throw their curses if inside. I am connected to what's true. My soul stays quiet and clear. Do you think God worries about what people say? If a few ashes fall on a mirror, use them to polish it. Lala, 14th century North Indian mystic. Now, no matter what happens to us in life, remember this one sweet understanding. We are powerful beyond measure, beautiful beyond words, and truly an extraordinary beings who have access to unlimited love, creativity, and pleasure. All this is, and more is available inside of us right in this now. To access it, sit in a state of wonder. Be in awe of this understanding. Try just for a few minutes and see what happens. You might discover some resistance, denial, or perhaps the realization that this amazing fact is already within you. It's good to know that each block we encounter in this life is our greatest catalyst to diving into a deeper experience of our most enlightened self. Every experience we have as human beings contains a doorway to this divine state. All that's needed is to look for the door, reach out for the golden handle, and walk on through. A lot of us will sit and watch. You know, there was a commercial a long time ago, which was quite profound. There was a bunch of gals that they had come out of the shower, and they had their towels on, and they were sitting watching a faucet in the sink with a mirror, and they were watching the water gush out. I mean, full blast. They were all sitting there staring at it. None of them were taking any action. So one gal just nonchalantly walks by them and goes up to the faucet and turns it off. They all look at each other in total amazement. Many of us are kind of like those girls sitting there watching the faucet pour out profusely. There really isn't anything as easy and fulfilling as entering this tremendously wonderful paradise that is within our very being. It's easiest to discover this warm, fuzzy feeling inside when we are alone, with nature, quiet, looking within. And we look within ourselves for many hours. You can sit out in nature for many hours. To arrive at this place means letting go of the hectic outer world. Unfortunately for many, they won't do that. They're frightened of letting go. Put away the busy, overly productive to-do list and devote to spend some solid quality time with you. How many of us do that? How many of us spend quality time with ourselves? You might ask yourself, how often do I spend quality time with myself? Not other people, you. Whatever is stopping us from making time for ourselves is blocking us from experiencing the most tremendous freedom, love, and joy. Now, the biggie for us, right, is to let go of our life. Emotionally, mentally and intentionally loosen our grip and relax into our true self. And here, we will find this powerful, beautiful, and extraordinary high vibrational being. Now, I believe for most of us, letting go is not easy at first, especially when we were used to spending our lives living like a closed, tight, it's almost like a vice grip, fist. So we practice loosing the grip. And try it for at least 1 hour every day. You might be pleasantly surprised how much you look forward to this time. Fact is that we are all worth it. And when we look at ourselves in the mirror, what do we see as seeing us? Can't mention this enough. Maybe not always clearly, yet we can only see aspects of ourselves. Our entire self is too huge, too amazing, and magnificent to digest in just one sitting. It's like you can look back at your day and remember most of what happened. Yet try and look back on your entire life and even past lifetimes and digest everything in the same detailed manner. See, all of us, each one of us, are much bigger than the mind can conceive. Just not capable of conceiving it. When you come to the edge of all the light you know and are about to step off into the darkness of the unknown, faith is knowing one of two things will happen. There will be something solid to stand on, or you will be taught how to fly. Unknown. Now, for us to start feeling a fraction of just how amazing we truly are, begin with letting go of any limiting beliefs that arise about ourselves. Limiting beliefs. If we think we are too nice, too old, too fat, too ugly, too poor, and so on, these are all old, decrepit, boring stories and excuses. In truth, they are just tiny electrons passing through the brain, making us believe we're in some prison. Realize these are all just thoughts passing through our consciousness in each moment. Now, we can choose to pay attention to the good ones or the bad ones. It's totally up to us. We can easily break free from any negative or limiting beliefs running around in our mind by surrendering to loving you. Surrendering to loving you. Trust in the feeling of love. Believe that love is the way. Notice how it feels to be a bit more gentle and kind with yourself. What does it feel like to accept all your parts? Real love is deep and eternal. It has no reason why it loves. It just constantly sends out gentle energy, working its magic and healing all parts of you every time. There's nothing more powerful and transformational than deep eternal love. When we devote our day to loving ourselves, being gentle with ourselves, something very magical occurs. We start to feel the love that is already inside of us right in this very moment. Deep inside our soul is the infinite source of love. The energy of God, source, absolute consciousness. Whatever name you want to place on it, the energy is the same. It is creating our experience of reality in every millisecond of our life. And it is the most benevolent, brilliant, and loving source there ever will be. Everyone on this planet, all of us, are on this sacred spiritual journey together. This life is for our enjoyment, transformation, spiritual growth, and eventually our enlightenment. We are here to enlighten the load from our past. Let go of all the heaviness we've been carrying for lifetimes. Whatever has been burdening, blocking, or frustrating to us is not real. The very instant we clearly see what is real, then everything changes immediately. There is this great relief inside as we no longer have to fight or resist anything in this life anymore. The war is over. We can see the truth and accept that which we believed was totally unacceptable about ourselves. It is then that our greatest joy and freedom begins to settle in. Now, there is nothing any of us can do to make a wrong turn in this life. There's nothing. We're all just programmed to say what? Okay. Well, I really messed my life up. Boy, I really screwed this up. What am I going to do now? There is nothing we can do to make a wrong turn in this life. What is it? Experience. What the heck are we here for to experience? We create it. We experience it. Some of it's good, some of it's bad, some of it's neutral, but we experience it. Without experience, knowledge is a joke. That's what we do. Everything is part of our destiny. Everything. And on an infinite highway where everything is connected, all lanes eventually reach the same infinite destination. Now, you might be off here, right? Some of us might be over here, up there, so on and so forth, down here. But we all end up on the same highway. We reach the same infinite destination. We cannot mess up our life. It is perfectly imperfect, just as it is. It contains all the bittersweet and sour elements needed to release our tight grip inside ourselves. Relax deeply and find out that we are powerful, beautiful, and truly extraordinary. On those days, when you feel that you made a wrong turn in your life, where you got in trouble for not yielding to the other, where you had an unconscious moment, smashed into someone you loved, it may feel like everything is lost. I think we've all been there at least once. Maybe you were driving with one foot on the brake and the other foot on the gas, and mainly looking backwards in the rearview mirror. The secret here is forgiveness for oneself. Let go of whatever mistakes you've made in your life. Let them go. They don't serve us any good. They are last year's movie. Just observe the judgments of these movies about yourself without practicing in that judgment. Welcome the experience of whatever your great error was and accept that it was a lesson teaching you something deeper about yourself and this life. By welcoming whatever judgments are showing up about yourself, the judgment-aholic inside gets to step down from its pedestal, and a hit of clarity somehow naturally finds its way in. A glimmer of lightness finds its way into the deepest, darkest night of the soul. And when we fully experience judgment for whatever it has to say, without holding on to any story about it, this universe has to present itself to us with full clarity. So my invitation for everyone this week is this: do not resist any experience that life gives you. Welcome all the good and bad you see inside you. Yet, give some extra special attention to that part of you that is powerful beyond measure, beautiful beyond words, and truly an extraordinary being who has access to unlimited love. Any resistance is futile and just makes you contract more from life and get even more emotionally knotted up inside. Now, if you must resist an experience in this life, be conscious about it. Know that this is your choice. There is always another way to experience who you are. Try it for 1 week, and a relaxing, freeing feeling will move on in. Trust the process. Let go and surrender to what is deeper and already at peace on the inside, which is what you really are. It's what we all are, is the God, the pure consciousness, the pure energy. There is no beginning or ending in the journeyless journey to nowhere. You do not start from somewhere, and you do not end it anywhere. You are where you are, and you continue from there. Bodhidharma. Now, we know that everything's energy. Obviously, it doesn't appear with our eyes, in a lot of ways, energy. Everything is energy. That's all there is to it. Now, when you match that frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but get that reality, can be no other way. This is not philosophy, this is physics, Albert Einstein. Once we all discover, because we will, that this universe we live in is more intelligent than the mind can comprehend. Can't comprehend it. There are many hidden dimensions in everything and everyone within it. We truly exist in the most fascinating, multidimensional, and infinitely mysterious field of conscious, intelligent energy. Now, this divine harmonic matrix is vibrating with life all around us. It is inside us and is constantly connecting with our every breath, thought, motion, heartbeat. Just look all around you. Everything is constantly exploding in an orgasm of wild, unabandoned creativity right in this now, right now on this planet. Somewhere, millions of flowers are blossoming, giving birth to most amazing sights and scents. In the earth itself, amazing sacred geometric crystals are forming, perfect patterns. While millions of animals, birds, insects, and humans are literally having intercourse in this very moment in the most interesting positions. This is just a tiny tip of the iceberg as to all the wild, mysterious, and beautiful things happening on this planet right now. Now, I don't know if you have, if you observe nature for a long period of time. If you do, or you have, then you will know that you will see everything is always changing, including that body you're in. They say that it is said that we cannot step into the same river twice, which I've mentioned many times. You can't go back. Well, you can. If any of you said, well, I'll go back there, right? And you say to yourself, you may not let anybody else know it, maybe you will, but usually you say to yourself, it isn't the same. It isn't the same. Because everything keeps changing so much. So we cannot ever, not ever, have the exact sequence of time, patterns, and feelings that we had last month or last year. You can't. It shifts so quickly. Our mind and emotional intelligence is continuously growing, evolving, changing. We were born highly intelligent beings who were meant to outgrow the small trousers we once wore in second grade. And truly, we wouldn't really want to try putting them on again now. Now, if you were to take a high-powered microscope and look into the DNA inside every cell in your body, right? You would see that they all contain a sacred imprint that is unique only to you. That's why I say we're all snowflakes. We're all different, just like snowflakes. There isn't one snowflake exactly alike. In each quantum particle of your DNA is this wild, uncharted, magnificent, intelligent mystery within it. Now, this mysterious intelligence is embedded within the foundation of our blood, bones, and brain. And guess what? We cannot escape from it, no matter how hard we try. What's interesting is that the mind tends to take for granted this sacred mystery every day. The mind has this tendency to create habits, fall into these little comfort zones of thought, safe emotional thought patterns. It finds ideas which label life, placing ourselves and others into tiny compartmentalized little thought boxes so we can feel more secure, self-assured, somewhat organized, standing in the face of this wild, uncharted, infinite mystery that is surrounding us in all directions. The moment we put anything in this divine existence into a thought box, we forget all about enjoying a state of devotion and worship to the divine mystery. The instant we forget about the great mystery of this life, of life in general, we initiate the suffering process. Every experience of this life thereafter becomes a challenge as we live from the head and not from the heart. The mind is a master at continuously getting lost and believing all its inner thought structures are real. When our intellect holds tight onto fixed beliefs, it thinks life will feel more manageable, giving the illusion of control and the sensation that we are becoming wiser. Yet this hard-coded, know-it-all mindset demolishes our childlike curiosity and abolishes any form of reverence for this deeply sacred divine mystery. Curiosity has its own reason for existing. One cannot help but be in awe when he contemplates the mysteries of eternity, of life, of the marvelous structure of reality. It is enough if one tries merely to comprehend a little of this mystery every day. Never lose a holy curiosity, Albert Einstein. Now, one of the greatest mysteries that I've ever discovered in this life, as many have, is the human psyche. The human psyche is the accumulation of other people's thoughts, beliefs, and assumptions that we've adopted and inherited as our own. All these beliefs, from the entire experience of ourselves, other people, this world, and our entire reality. The way we think, how we think, why we think this way and not that way, is the core network of our psyche and makes us behave more like predictable machines than a live cosmic organism. Now, the human psyche, however, does have a magical side to it, in that whatever we accept as the truth, becomes what we actually manifest physically into our lives. That is very important for this civilization to embrace this understanding. Whatever we accept as the truth becomes what we actually manifest physically into our lives. Now, this may be one of the most awesome mysteries mankind has to explore. Our foundational belief structure is so powerful, pervasive, and penetrating that it always manifests itself in every single possible outcome and experience we have. Now, understanding that this universe always supports whatever you believe. Now, if deep down you believe you are not a lovable person, this universe will constantly manifest for you the most challenging people, negative situations, and experiences that support this belief inside. If you truly believe you are lovable, this universe will slather your life with sweet, loving beings devoted to caring about you, honoring you, and caring for your needs in the most intimate, vulnerable ways. Big difference, isn't it? Now, this intelligent, universal energy simply follows thought. Whatever you believe about you is where the energy flows and manifests into the entire show all around you. Now, in this highly technological age, people these days tend to believe science is easier than religion. I'm not talking about man-made religion. If you can prove God is real in a lab, then it must be true, right? What's fascinating about this time frame in our lives is that the quantum physicists of this world have ventured so deep into particles that they have had to merge their scientific understanding within a spiritual context. Their practical Newtonian vocabulary doesn't have the words to explain the outrageous results they are finding. They are having to use more spiritual words and concepts to bridge the understanding of these hard-coded scientific results. When you understand that everything is pure consciousness, okay, all connected, and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. You take two quantum particles that were spinning around each other, right? And you find a way to separate them by a few kilometers in distance. And so later they spun one of the particles counterclockwise and noticed that instantly the other particle that was kilometers away would also change spinning in this new direction. They've done this thousands of times. So they concluded there exists some form of spiritual intelligence that is communicating between all quantum particles in this universe, no matter what physical distance is between them. Now, it has been the 21st century for quite a while now. And the understanding that we are the manifesting magicians of the quantum soup of highly intelligent energy all around us has become an actual science in the quantum physics and the spiritually enlightened communities. The relationship between the mystic and the scientist were separated over 500 years ago. And guess what? Now the pendulum is swinging back towards their reunification again because they were once one. Just like astronomy and astrology were one. But again, that too, hundreds of years ago, they were separated, astronomy and astrology, when they used to be one. Now, it is our inherent curious nature to want to put labels on things, people, ourselves, create a universal law of attraction that will solve this great manifesting mystery of life. We think that if we have a more concrete global understanding of this life, then we can relax and rest even deeper into our spiritual nature. Perhaps only a fool would believe that we need something external to let go and relax internally. Why? Why would we need to feel inferior to being one with Mother Nature, just so as to push away our insecurity and strive towards a need to feel superior superior. So the human psyche, as I've mentioned, is the greatest mystery of them all. All that we have to do is to give up identifying with the body, with forms and limits, and then we shall know ourselves as the infinite self that we always are. From Maharishi. I'll join you in the meditation. I'll return to close us out. Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose, and an easy and slow breath out from the mouth. This world is our mirror. Our response in relation to every being on this planet reflects our inner consciousness. The mirror is always present, always reflecting what we most need to know, allowing us to observe, learn, and grow on our soul's path is angelic development. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, and the following morning. We will return here Wednesday, December 13, 2023, 3:15 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call and our time for change call at 9 p.m. Eastern. Gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. Be in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal gratitude at all times, no matter what's going on within you or outside of you.